Hey everyone, it's me, Justina. Coming on here, we're going to do some stretching and mobility work, a little bit of meditation. What you'll need today is some space to have on the wall, and you will need a chair. So we're going to start off with the wall, doing some mobility with the wall, and then we're going to move over to the chair. So go ahead and grab those things if you're not there, or find the space if you need to. And then we're gonna go ahead and just kind of get warmed up, just warming up the body here a little bit. So what I want us to do, we're just gonna start just kind of stepping in place. You can either kind of just step in place, or if you want to march, bring those knees up a little bit more, fine. Just make sure you're landing nice and easy and gentle on those joints, okay? Then I want us to just punch out, so we're just gonna punch in front here. Just gonna turn off this backlight, see if that helps with a little bit of maybe being able to see me a little bit more, maybe not. Okay. Let's go ahead and come into some butt kicks now. Kick in the butt. So I'm doing some just twisting back and forth here. You can kind of just pull your hands on top of each other and just twist back and forth, warming up the spine, just getting some blood flowing. Or maybe you want to let those hands just flop. Sometimes that feels kind of good, just letting them hang, coming side to side here. All right, we'll roll up the shoulders, release here. Some windmills coming up and around. Okay. All right, hopefully we got some blood flowing here a little bit. What we're gonna do next is a little bit of balance work. So being next to the wall is perfect, or if you have your chair, just in case you struggle with some balance, just to catch you in case you lose your balance. So we're gonna do a one knee grab. So you can do this a couple different ways. First way we can do this is actually just trying to bring up our one knee and trying to hold it up, okay? And we're just trying to balance on this foot that is down. Having a focus point is gonna help you. Otherwise, you can actually do just kind of a quad stretch. Do a one leg grab here, working on just balancing this way. Maybe even feeling a stretch in that quad. Or maybe it's enough for you to just hold behind the thigh. Or you can just simply have the one leg up and do just a one leg balancing test, all right? Whatever works for you. Couple breaths here as we maintain our balance. Awesome, good. Go ahead and switch. Find that balance on the opposite side. Again, you can come here if you want, or just drop down, maybe a quad stretch, whatever you want to do. Good. And relax. All right, shaking out those legs. Next, what we're gonna do is coming into a wall. We're gonna do wall stretches. So we're finding a spot on this wall that's gonna work for you. First thing we're going to be doing is a calf stretch, all right? So we're gonna bring our toes up on the wall. We wanna have like a nice straight leg here. Toes come up on this wall, nice straight leg without, bending a whole lot here. Nice straight leg, and then we're just gonna bring our entire body and try to move it towards the wall. We don't want just our upper half coming towards the wall. We want to actually move our hips in line, and we're going to feel a nice stretch in the bottoms of our legs, our calf muscles. As we do these stretches, trying to focus on breathing work, feeling the stretch, working that mobility. Good. Go ahead and switch. Couple breaths here. Good. Go ahead, release. Okay, what we're gonna do next is coming back. So we're gonna be coming into kind of a hip hinge here a little bit. So we wanna come back into a lunge, one leg is back, making sure we square away our hips. So we want our hips nice and squared towards this wall here. We don't want to be kind of coming out like this, all right? What can help, just sometimes the wall helps just to keep us kind of our hips nice and square. Gives us a little bit of a a border to kind of follow here. So what we're doing next is we're actually gonna push that hip forward. We're trying to pull this right hip back, my left hip. I'm trying to press forward into the front of that hip, and I'm squeezing back in this right side, okay? What that's gonna do is feel a nice stretch in the front part of this hip flexor. Awesome. Go ahead and release. We're gonna switch. Same thing, with those hips nice and squared. We don't wanna be curved out like that. Hips are nice and squared. Pulling this hip back that way, this front hip this way. Okay, so almost doing the opposite twist. And then we're gonna come forward. That back heel might come off a little bit of the floor just to feel that front hip flexor stretching. Great stretch to do if you're having some low back issues, some hip issues. Just a good stretch in general to open up for a majority of people. Awesome. Go ahead and release out of that, shaking out. Next, what we're gonna do is come to a little bit of upper body, all right? So first, we're gonna do a chest opener. So elbow is in line with our shoulder, forearms on the wall here. I'm just gonna twist our body, our entire body out and away, not just our feet. As we look forward here, we wanna twist our entire body out and away. I like to open up this arm here, really feels that stretch in the front of that chest. Trying to draw those shoulders down your spine, not holding them up towards your ears. Awesome, go ahead and release. Awesome. We're gonna switch sides up again. So we're gonna come into a straight arm stretch. What we want to do is put our fingertips down towards the floor, walk that hand up, nice straight arm. Feeling that stretch in the front, and feeling that as our arms nice and straight, we're gonna feel a stretch in our wrist. We're gonna feel a stretch in our biceps as we do this and into our shoulder as well. All right, we're doing the same thing, twisting our entire body out away from that wall. Breathing. Good. We're gonna switch sides. Nice straight arm here. Opposite hand. Fingers are facing down towards the floor. Nice straight arm. Turning out and away. Awesome. Good. Go ahead, come back. All right, checking out those arms. Next, what we're gonna do is working on some shoulder mobility, okay? So what we wanna do is actually come, our elbow or our arm is on the wall here, and what we're gonna do is just try to put our hand up on this wall right above our head. And now you can't really see me here. So our hand is above our head, and then what we're gonna do, so entire forearm is on the wall. We're gonna do that same outer twist. We're gonna opening up that chest and shoulder girdle, shoulder area a little bit differently. Awesome. Go ahead and switch. Nice work. Go ahead, release here. Now what we're gonna do is add in a one arm windmill with the wall. So when we're doing this, one arm shoulder is nice and squared, coming up into one arm windmills. We wanna try to keep that arm on the wall at all times, and then we're trying to bring it down and back without rotating a whole lot, that upper torso, okay? And just holding through, maybe holding an area that feels tight, taking a breath there as you release down and through. Go on a couple times at your own pace. We don't want to fly through this. We're not trying to take off here. We want to just feel a nice stretch throughout that entire shoulder joint. Now maybe you're not able to come up next to the wall as much as I am. Maybe you have to come out to be able to have those shoulders square and be able to come back and around. Totally fine. Majority of people can't actually, and I'm even off the wall a little bit more than I should be. Ultimate goal would be able to be right next to the wall, right, and be able to do this, but I know my ability, I have to be off just a little bit here to be able to keep those shoulders nice and square and move through this. Good. Go ahead, finish what you're doing, then we're gonna switch sides. Good, coming up through. This is my bad shoulder, so I'm gonna come off the wall just a little bit more. Working through that joint. Good, coming up and around, breathing. One more time. Awesome work. Go ahead and shake that out. Let's go ahead and come to our butt and back on the wall here. All right, gonna maybe walk those feet out a little bit together, and then we're just gonna hinge those hips, crawling the hands down our legs, feeling a nice low back release. Maybe bending those knees a little bit like I am, or if you're able to keep them straight, you want to keep them straight, that's fine. Or just coming down, feeling just a nice stretch behind those legs. The head hang. No tension in our neck or shoulders. Nice and slow. Walk those hands up. Taking a breath as you reach the top here. Then let's come to wide forward fold. Wide supported fold, forward fold. So our legs are out nice and wide here, okay? And we're doing the same things, hinging those hips, coming down. You can put your hands on your hips if you want here, or you can glide your hands down the legs, or you can just have them reach down to the middle. Maybe you're able to touch the floor, okay? Nice stretch from the inner thighs, inner legs, hamstrings, releasing that back as well. Again, let the head hang into ragdoll. Awesome, nice and slow. We're gonna bend those knees like this. Squeeze those glutes, and we're gonna stand up. Ooh, good, nice and good. All right, we're gonna transition over now to our chair. All right, let's go ahead and come to seated. First, what we're gonna do is hit that outer hip now. So we're gonna come to figure 4 stretch. So a couple different ways you can do this. We're gonna have one leg out nice and straight. You can cross over. Now, maybe this is enough of a stretch in that outer hip. Go ahead, stay here. If you're able to crawl that shin up above our knee and bend the knee, great, like so. Go ahead, come into that. Now, what we wanna do is we wanna have a nice straight spine, okay? So our spine stays nice and straight here, and then we're gonna lean forward, feel that stretch. This hip is really tight for me today. So I'm not gonna be able to go forward a whole lot. You can tell I'm even trying to round and compensate. So I'm gonna just kind of readjust here. Crown of the head is up towards the ceiling. Shoulders are pinned down the back as I lean a little bit forward. Good, then let's go ahead, hug that knee up. I'm gonna bring it up to our chest. And then gently we're gonna guide it down and pushing away. Beautiful. Go ahead and switch. Crossing that over. Coming into that figure 4, spine is nice and straight. Feeling that stretch, leaning in a little bit more, feeling it a little bit more. Then we're gonna grab that knee, gonna bring it up to our chest, and then nice and gentle, we're gonna push it down and away. Good, working that hip joint, kind of feeling a little bit more loosey-goosey in that hip joint here, just opening that area up. Awesome. Nice and slow. Go ahead and release. All right, next we're gonna do a seated stretch, seated side stretch. We're gonna bring one hand up and we're coming over. We want to keep this hip on the chair. We don't want it to come off of the chair here. And there is an option to be able to either cross that arm over, hang onto the arm, and clasp the hands here if you want to, or just hang out in a single arm. Good. And release into the next side. Awesome work. Back down. Let's roll the shoulders up to the ears and release down. Whew, feeling good. All right, pulling that arm over and across now. Gonna try to release our shoulder from our spine and our mid back. So trying to open up this area. Good, go ahead and switch. Good. Go ahead, release. Next, we're gonna do is just a spinal twist. So we're gonna take one hand, gonna put it on the outside of our opposite knee. So my right hand is on the left side, the outer left side of my knee. And what I'm gonna do is just open up this hand, gonna bring it up towards the ceiling and look up towards it. Couple breaths here. Good, working that spinal mobility. Then we're gonna switch. Opposite hand, so my left hand's on my right outer knee. Bring my right arm up overhead, looking up towards it. Good. Go ahead, nice and slow, relax down. Again, maybe shaking out those shoulders. Okay, next we're gonna just do some windshield wipers. So we're just gonna, again, work with that hip mobility. So we're gonna try to bring our hips to one side, to the next side. Just coming back and forth here. Side to side into that windshield wiper. You're gonna feel your core engage a little bit, but we're just opening up, releasing those hips. Maybe coming a little bit faster. Just depends what you wanna do. All right, one more hamstring stretch. So we're gonna bring our one leg out, toes come up, middle fingers, make sure they're aligned. We don't want one coming over the other. We're gonna feel more of a stretch when those fingers are together. And we're gonna reach down towards our foot. Feel in the back of that leg stretch. Nice and slow. We're gonna come back up. I'm gonna switch it up. Other leg bends. Other leg is out straight. Fingers, middle fingers are aligned. Reaching down here. Good, nice and slow, gonna come up. Good, now what I want us to do is just kind of crawl our fingers down towards our feet. And then what we're gonna do is bring our hands up overhead. We're gonna cactus down. So it means we're just gonna bend those elbows. I'm gonna hit the wall a little bit here. Keep long of arms coming down. So bending down, bending over a couple more times. Hands come up. Trying to exhale, breaking those shoulders down the spine. One more time. And down, reaching up and back. All right, good. Next, what we're gonna do is come to the edge of our seat here, and we're gonna try to crawl our hands up our chair. All right, then we're gonna trying to open up the chest. We don't want the shoulders coming forward and up towards our ears. We want to release them down and away from our ears, slightly looking up. Couple of breaths here in kind of an assisted proud warrior pose, kind of puffing out that chest. Couple cleansing breaths here. Good, nice and slow. Walk those hands down and away. Gonna move into some wrist stretches. So what we're gonna do first is clasp our hands here. We're gonna try to pull down while the palms are together, elbows come up. Then we're gonna flip-flop that, backs of the hands are together. We're gonna try to bring the hands up and then those elbows come down. So it doesn't look like I'm moving a whole lot, but I'm actively trying to push those elbows down while hands still remain together. Good, go ahead, release. Let's go ahead and come into neck stretches. Love neck stretches. First, let's go ahead, go into the no motion. So no, we're just gonna look over one shoulder, like we're gonna tell someone no, nice and slow, looking straight ahead over the opposite shoulder. Moving through this a couple times, noticing maybe one area is tighter than the other. Awesome, good. Go ahead and look straight ahead. Then you're just gonna bring one ear to the shoulder without bringing that shoulder up. You want the shoulder down. Trying to release, maybe pulling back a little bit instead of coming forward. Trying to open up, just noticing how we bring it back. Works a little bit different of an area. And forward. Good, nice and slow. Look straight ahead, coming to the opposite side. Shoulder to ear, ear to shoulder, without bringing the shoulder up, relaxing that down. Again, coming back and forth, noticing one side might be a little bit tight. And I'm a little tight here. Taking your time as you kind of come back and forth. Good. Go ahead, look straight ahead, collect your bearings for a second. We're gonna do the no motion again, only we're gonna do the no motion and we're gonna look down and then looking up over our shoulder, okay? So looking over our shoulder, looking down. Nice and slow, looking up. Looking back over the shoulder, look straight ahead over the opposite shoulder. Looking down. And then looking up. Ooh. Do that one more time. Okay, nice and slow, look straight ahead. Rolling out those shoulders. What I want us to do now is we're gonna take an inhale, we're gonna breathe those shoulders up to our ears, and then we're gonna exhale a nice loud audible breath down. Okay, so a couple of times. One more time. Good, back to normal breathing. Notice how I kind of created energy. And we're just coming back, trying to breathe through our nose and out our nose now. Coming to just a comfortable seated position. Maybe you want your hands on your knees. Maybe you want them kind of just into a prayer position or hanging out to the side. Palms up, whatever you want to do. Okay. Close your eyes. Taking a couple of breaths. I really want you to focus on your breath. I know it's not natural for a lot of us to just close our eyes and not think of anything, but that's our ultimate goal. To be very mindful just of our breath, trying to clear away all that clutter in our brain and our minds. The thought comes in, let it come, but then gently guide it out, creating a blank space. Allows for creativity or productiveness, less stress. We're gonna tap into our body now. We're gonna start from our toes, work our way all the way up to the crown of our head. So, thinking about how our toes and our ankles feel, maybe wiggling them, eyes remain closed. Coming up our legs, our calves, to our knees. How does it feel? And back to our hamstrings, our quads, up to our glutes. Maybe we notice we're squeezing a lot of them, trying to just relax those muscles. Coming into our hips and our core. To our chest and shoulders, down our arms, our elbows, our wrists, our fingers. Releasing what's tight. Coming back up to our elbows and our shoulders. Now to our neck, to our head. Drop the tongue from the roof of your mouth. How do your eyes feel? Maybe you're squinting. Try to relax those eyes. To the top of our head. Releasing everything that feels tight. Any negative energy and letting that go. Taking a moment now to focus on our breath again as the inhale comes in and the exhale goes out. Feeling grateful for the air in our lungs, the people we have in our lives, a body that was able to do the stretching today. When you're ready, I'm gonna kind of wiggle those toes, wiggle those fingers, slowly open those eyes. Taking a deep breath and exhaling. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this short mobility and stretching practice, the little meditation. I will see you all next time. Have a great day.